Alrighty, this is Deuce We the People News. Okay? Not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Educational purposes only. Alright? Never look straight forward, always look around you and be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Alright? Use that Second Amendment. Arm yourself with knowledge, people. Alright? So, this video is due to go check them out, okay? Pro se versus court. Okay? Prose and then V court. Okay? And you heard me talk about Randy Kelton and all that, and my last couple of videos, we're kind of breaking down the lawsuit. And, but, let's see what to do here. For some of you guys don't know, this is Randy Kelton, Eddie Craig. Okay? Now, full disclosure, people, you guys may not like them due to there's 31 million people in the state of Texas. And these two right here is really the only ones that's doing everything lawfully and challenging the statutes that they keep claiming applies to us. We talked about, even on property tax. According to the statutes, it does not apply to ordinary people with their house. Of course, since you got a bank loan, it may apply to you, right? You're conducting business, you're in a contract and all that kind of stuff. But if you own your property, as I do, well, I have no nexus to a bank. And I have no nexus here, I have no nexus there. My property is not in any form of commerce, business, trust, or anything like that, right? And I'm not creating income on said property, so that don't apply. And since I'm not creating income, therefore, me filling out, what is it called? Filling out, can't believe I went blank on that. I had it in my brain a second ago. File a return. All right? There's two specific things to be a taxpayer. You must file a return and must disclose income. Okay? Well, if your property is not creating income, can't be taxed because there's no income. All right? Then you go into must file a return. Well, you can't file a return because your property is not creating income, so there cannot be taxed. So this is what it makes it illegal, and all through the statutes, it specifically says it's for the corporations. All right? Not to your own private non-income private property, right? Because Walmart's private property, but by just going in there and saying, hey, it's private property, well, in their brains, the judges like to, even though he knows better, he likes to mislead people. They say, oh, private property, okay. So you're a business. This is how ridiculous and stupid it is to trap you into paying money that you lawfully don't have to pay. All right, sorry, I'm going off too much. So, these two people right here, all right, they got two different ways of approaching. He's in your face. He calls them out, he'll throw a lawsuit and get money. All right. He right here is political. He wants them to be punished. All right. He wants a good old-fashioned spanking because they're not doing their jobs like they're supposed to. All right. So it's political. And the way he does things, right here, Randy Kelton, all right, he acts like a cop in a lot of ways. He gets you, the government, not you, the government, to confess. The way he speaks is the same way an officer speaks to you, right? Where you been going? How's this? That's what he does to the judges. He traps them to violate their oath of office. and filed bar agreements against attorneys. And he's victorious on filing bar agreements and criminal complaints on attorneys, criminal complaints on judges, magistrates, officers. He's victorious on that. All right. But these are only two people that steadfast and actually following the law out of 31 million people. Judge Fletcher, it's the closest one we can come up to with probable cause. But you got to go to jail first. Well, that's violating state law. All right. And that's what they're saying. They are violating state law by statute. All right, let's go. Oh, so this is kind of like the other two. So I'm going to split this up because they're going to be talking about the lawsuit, Meetings of the Minds. And the other videos, they're kind of teaching what it was that they're breaking down. So it's kind of interesting to get the both take. So there's going to probably be about 4 videos, give or take, of the whole section. Okay. Well, maybe more than that. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, maybe 8. Way I talk. So if you want to hear without my interruptions, pro se versus the court.
Okay. So, all right. In your lawsuit, you're stating that the JP Court has jurisdiction due to 27.031 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. The problem is 27.031 is in direct violation of the Texas Constitution.
Okay, stop right there. When you're at it, whether it's on my channel, whether it's their channel, write these codes down, right? You don't want to be willfully ignorant. You want to write these down, research it.
27.031. It's the one that says that the JP courts have jurisdiction over civil suits for $20,000 or less. Yeah. The Texas Constitution says their limit is $200 or less. That has been updated. No, it has not. That is what the Constitution says. What they have tried to do, that's the second clause of that section of the Constitution. Oh, okay, but we'll leave that alone. Because, I don't want to fight that right now because I understand that, but I'm just trying to tell you something here if you'll let me get it finished with it. Okay. What they have done in creating 27.031 is they have used the third clause of the constitutional article to attempt to nullify the second clause of the same constitutional article. Hmm. That's an interesting argument. Well, you remember where they said they can't interpret the law or the statute so as to invalidate any other portion of the Constitution, laws, or and whatever? Yeah, vis-a-vis state. Yeah, well, that's exactly what they're doing with 27.031. Yeah, so the vis-a-vis state's a good argument to make. You cannot interpret one statute in such a way that it renders another statute superfluous. Correct. And that's what they're doing with this constitutional section over the jurisdiction of the JP courts in civil cases. The second clause of the section in the Constitution where it is says their monetary limit is $200 or less. The third clause says, and other things in accordance with law. Where they're trying to use the in accordance with law section in the third clause to invalidate the second clause. Yeah, but the law cannot be written such that it violates constitutional provision. Correct. And that's exactly what 27.031 does. Okay, that's a good argument. But the problem is you are hanging your jurisdictional basis on that statute. You're claiming the JP court has jurisdiction to hear this case because of that statute. And that's the problem. It's not a problem if they don't argue it. Well, until somebody... I get your point. Well, here's the thing. No, wait. No, this is... You're speaking to the authority
authority of a magistrate to hear a civil case.
Yes.
That's not a magistrate duty. That's a judge. That's a justice of the peace duty. You're calling the justice of the peace magistrate. Not the same.
Randy, when you're filing a lawsuit, you're not invoking their duty as a magistrate. You're invoking it as a judge. And you're saying they have jurisdiction to hear it as a judge based on this statute.
Wait a minute. Are you looking at my big lawsuit or the one I just filed Monday?
Your template for your program against a judge.
Oh, okay. That's the one you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, I am invoking not the magistrate's duty, but I'm invoking the justice of the peace duty.
Right.
Okay. That's a good argument. Just don't tell the other side.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I see happening. Let's say you win and they appeal. Your judgment is going to be shot right between the eyes when the appellate court rules they can't do it.
There's no way the appellate court is going to overrule that. They're going to tell them to go fuck themselves. Just like your claim against the ordinances. There's no way they're going to go there. They're going to tell these guys to go fuck yourself. If we want JPs to be able to handle up to 20,000, you're not going to fuck with it.
Well, the thing is without amending the Constitution, they can't give them that power. And that's the problem. There is no constitutional amendment changing the money amount that JPs can preside over.
Okay, that's what I thought they had done. But if they haven't done that, then you're right. It's not valid.
Yeah, no, they haven't changed the Constitution. They used a statute to do it.
So I'll wait until I get one of them to sue me in the JP court. And then blow it out from under them. Oh, that'll be fun. That would be great fun. So I haven't read the suit.
We're reading through it. We started it in class last night. I haven't read your suit, but I was going through your template for your program last night for the same reasons.
All I'm saying is that I gave criminal complaints to a magistrate. The magistrate refused to issue warrants under 15.09.
Right, but you've got another flawed argument in that suit under 1509. 1509 is divided up into two parts. The first part is permissive. It says may transfer the complaint.
What? No,
yes, it does. The first part of 1509 says a complaint may be transferred. The second part is what invokes the duty once it has been transferred.
So I'm transferred. I'm filing it with the magistrate myself. So he has it. The first part it becomes irrelevant.
That's correct.
And I saw that part.
That's correct.
To my purpose, that's irrelevant.
But you're not making that distinction when you're making your argument in that suit.
I don't need to. I'm not arguing, briefing every possible argument for them. Screw that. If they want to bring that issue, let them. Then I'll argue this.
Yeah, but the problem is, Randy, is that you go down in your argument and you talk about the transfer.
Yeah.
Okay, as being a mandatory duty, and it's not.
No, I didn't talk about the transfer as being a mandatory duty.
Randy, we went through it in class last night.
Damn it, man. Okay, I have to go with that. I never said
that may not be your intention, but that is what you've written.
Where? What have you got it there?
Hang on. Let me pull it up.
I'm speaking to a fact set where the transfer, the filing with the magistrate has already been made. I never spoke to what the conditions of transferring are. Only that they must be, that they're listed.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and pause there. And other videos gonna probably be a little bit shorter because I got my ramp out on this the first part. All right. Um, this is more of showing you guys of what's going on behind the scenes of our alleged judicial branch, magistrate branch. The cops are doing these things, right? And due to the cops being willfully ignorant, they get that qualified immunity, and that's what the judges want them to be, right? Um, so the cops are trained in such a way of willful ignorance to violate your rights. All right. Now the judges are hopefully thinking you are willfully ignorant to go ahead and convict yourself. This is all what it's about. Willful ignorance, teach the cops, violate your rights. Willful ignorance, not knowing your rights, to stop the cops from violating your rights. And the only difference is, cops get qualified immunity, you go to jail. And the judges and magistrates and all that, some magistrates, but mostly judges, know this. So their intent is actually violate you. Peace of we people news. Bye, y'all.